Can we stand for the pledge, and a moment of silence, and for healing prayers for our town supervisor, Catherine Shea. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the town board meeting, March 7th, 2024. Before I begin, I'd like to introduce board members for any new visitors that are present today. At the far left is Councilmember Kaur. Next is Councilmember Perrione. Then we have Councilmember Luongo. And to my right is Deputy Clerk Desiree Popkin.
No,
Just a clerk.
I'm the town. Deputy.
You got the motives.
I read that, that's why. No, she's the clerk.
I am.
I am the deputy supervisor, and I'm filling in for our town supervisor, Luciani, who underwent surgery earlier this week and is progressing well, and the entire board wishes Kate a continued and speedy recovery. Does anybody have public comment on agenda items only? Now we'll move on to administrative businesses, acceptance of minutes. Can I have a motion and a second to accept the minutes from February 15th, 2024.
Make a motion.
February. It's 15.
15th.
It was the 15th, the first, the version that was emailed to you guys on the 22nd, because there was 5 Thursdays in February, and I was looking at the wrong calendar.
I'll make a motion.
Brandon made it.
Oh, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of abstract number 5. Desiree, please read abstract 5 for this meeting.
Abstract 5 contains vouchers 240297 through 240415, totaling $252,546.96. Jeffrey, the microphone just died.
It did?
We got a spare one.
Yeah, we have a spare one. Awesome. There you go.
Can I have a motion and a second to approve abstract 5 as read?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion. Desiree, could you please read the budget modification for 23 and 24?
So the first, at the September 7th, 2023 meeting, the board approved modification allocating donations received by the Animal Control Department to be used to finance work done at the shelter by the Buildings and Grounds Department. Since then, there has been several discussions about donation funds and how they should be used. A recommendation has been received from the accounting department suggesting the board vote to have the funds returned to the donation account. So a motion and second is needed to allocate the $7,430 from the disbursement account to the animal control donation account.
Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is a modification for the 2023 budget. First is for the attorney by increasing A 1420.400 attorney by $7,399.36. And decreasing A 1440.400 engineering consultant by $7,399.36. And the next is for the police by increasing B 3120.453 vehicle repairs by $500 and decreasing B 3120.454 vehicle gas by that $7.
Can I have a motion?
Make a motion. Go ahead.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And there's only one for the 2024 budget. It's for surveillance cameras at Pearl Beach by increasing A 1650.200 surveillance cameras by $24,315.20 and increasing A 599 appropriated fund balance by that same amount.
Can I have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Also on the administrative business, I have the acceptance of resignation for Mike Longo. Unfortunately, can I have a motion and a second to accept with regrets the resignation of the Parks and Recreation Committee?
I'll make a motion.
Regretfully second that.
Effective 3/6/2024.
Nope, February 20th.
February 28th.
Hey, Tim, just a little discussion on that. I just want to thank Mike for his time volunteering here. Mike came on when I took over as chairman for the Parks and Recreation Committee. He was always there, always helping out. We did a lot of great things, got some feet underneath us to get the committee going. Although he may be leaving our Parks and Recreation Committee, he's continuing to coach our youth. So he's going to be helping the kids no matter what he does, and definitely a great for our community.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we obviously wish Michael the best of luck.
That was 3 yeses, 1 abstention.
Did you vote yet?
Oh, you didn't vote yet? Okay,
No.
sorry.
Is there a motion?
You already have a motion
We
and a
had a
second.
Oh, we get it, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
This week we only have one thing under new business, or old business rather. Be the authorized deputy supervisor to sign the 2024 Jewish Family Services Agreement. I know there's gonna be discussion on this first, can I have a motion in a second?
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. So that's not what the agenda says. The agenda just says Jewish Family Service Agreement. So you don't need to make a motion in a second, because you're just gonna discuss it.
Oh, okay.
And then you can decide whether you wanna make a motion or second. You don't make a motion.
Okay.
Right, because then you just like discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there was gonna be discussion on this that we had figured out earlier, on what we were gonna do going forward with the Jewish Family Services. Does anybody have any comments on this?
So I spoke to Shakeen and Alex from the senior center, to see how they felt the program was working or not working. They said it was kind of inconsistent, with the person from JFS going there. They didn't think that, maybe it made any difference. I don't know if there was like a great need there. They were open to possibly coming up with something, an in-house program, but I know there's things that may complicate that, in terms of liability with volunteers transporting the seniors to their appointments. They were also interested in possibly seeing if there's a grant that we could purchase a van to help, for them to help transport seniors to and from the center, and maybe once a month do like a supermarket run. I sent an email to our grant writer to see if we can find such a grant. He said, they're few and far in between, so we'll be out on the lookout for that. I also spoke with the lady from JFS. I believe she's the program director. She said, she went over what services they provide through the agreement. We can have our own coordinator, but we would still have to have JFS there because they offer things such as insurance and training volunteers, things like that. So those are just some things to consider.
Anybody else?
Seriously, did they go into why it's increased, the program was increased, did they talk about that at all?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 8,000 now, 10,000. I don't think it's a program that's being used that much by our seniors, so I'm not sure if they would miss it if we were not to continue, but I would like to look into the grant for a van. I think that would be helpful for some seniors to get to and from the center, especially if they have surgery or for whatever reason they can't make it. I think that would be good for them.
Brandon, do you have anything?
I mean, we'll see how it goes, and we can always, do it again. You know what I mean? If right now it's not happening, and as being underutilized for the increase. You don't, it's not a year-to-year thing. I know, I think the middle of last year, Cornwall offered, I'm pretty sure, because they were talking about it, but, you know, and we could always reach out to them again if we feel the need.
I agree. Do we have to vote to not do it, or we have to?
Well, I think what would be appropriate is for you to make a motion, a second, to direct me to send a letter to them stating that we have chosen to not renew our program with them.
Oh, I have one more thing. Also, we don't know, if there are volunteers. You can contact JFS through the county, so the service is there, for anyone, for any senior to call, but there may not be a volunteer that could come out to Woodbury to assist the seniors, so that's another reason why I don't know if we should renew the agreement, the contract.
So in that case, can I have a motion in a second for Clerk Hopkins to send a letter to JFS saying we will be declining services?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
On to new business. Authorize the supervisor or deputy supervisor to sign the Town of Woodbury Police Benevolent Association's MOA dated March sixth, 2023.
Make the motion.
This memorandum of agreement is being negotiated with PBA leadership, Supervisor Luciani and myself. Can I have a motion in a second to give the deputy supervisor authorization to sign the PBA MOA dated 3/6/2023?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Next. Next on new business, I have the authorize the town board to approve the waiver of parade permit fee for the Memorial Day Parade. Can I have a motion in a second to approve the waiver of the Memorial Day Parade permit?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Authorize supervisor or deputy supervisor to sign the 2024 DWI program. This is an IMA with the Woodbury Police receives and commits to an annualized basis an agreement to provide enhanced commitment to patrolling and protecting our roads from motorists driving under the influence. Can I have a motion and a second to give the deputy supervisor authorization to sign the IMA with the County of Orange related to the Orange County DWI program for 2024?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's all we got for new business. Public comment, anything on agenda item? Or, no, public comment in general? First, bro?
Jimmy Inc. Highland Mills. I know last year they were posing no passing on 32. So we had that issue going on. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff on 32 right now. I mean, you know, it's and we've had a couple of accidents there on 32. There was a death there. So now I'm gonna loop in a couple of things. So it's the no passing on 32. Of course, we now have the issue of CBD, which now I got basically high drivers driving on the roads. I believe you have this warehouse in Cornwall, which should increase traffic on 32 on Smith Grove. What is, what is the solution here? I mean, this is just like, it's bad enough already. I have a strange feeling we're just gonna have a lot more incidents on 32 and, our main roads because of all those factors. Is there somebody, I mean, you can't tell me that, we could complain to the governor or whatever else, because the governor can't even handle what's going on right now. I mean, do we have a resource that, hey, there's a problem with all these factors? I mean, it's great, all these town meetings and everything else, let's put it for a vote, but nothing's gonna get done. And that's a concern. I mean, you know what, I hate the idea of cannabis, I'm not a fan of the increased traffic on whatever. We get our little rainfalls, I mean, it's not one issue that, hey, you guys can fix this issue and you fix everything. if you look, you take a step back, it's all these issues that are connected, and you can't fix one and eliminate the problem. It's just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and my concern is when things start falling, you know what, we're not gonna be able to do anything because nothing happens, and when something happens, it's too late. The second issue is, last year, remember lithium batteries? You had another fire recently in the city, and on and on.
It happens almost daily.
It happens almost daily. What can we do? That PSA, that training course, I mean, what can we do? Because when you have ShopRite selling lithium battery operated things, you can't tell me this is top of line stuff. I mean, and then, to piggyback on something else, the village is working on this right to enter law, which, my home, my property, and you know what, I really don't want somebody trespassing, but I gotta understand it because you know what, Tim, I love what you do. Jared Lloyd, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know
Not related to lithium.
You. are volunteering, the EMS and everything else. Well, when you guys respond to an incident, you're responding to a single family home. You're dealing with one thing. When you respond to some of these other houses, it's like a dorm room with 90 occupants, it's something else. So, I mean, some of these homes, you know what, that lithium goes, you know what? You should not be risking your life for this nonsense. I mean, what can we do in a small town? These homes go up. I mean, Matt, you went through this. The house goes up very quickly. This is not a brick home in Queens or the city. All these other things that we try to do for the village, the town, wonderful. But this, I just don't hear enough about. But, you, because of what you do, you hear about it on a regular basis.
Luckily for us, there is not a large influx of lithium-ion fires in Orange County specifically.
Okay.
Most of those fire occurs from secondhand or overcharged products.
Yeah.
Or products not manufactured to spec or chargers not used correctly, or heavy use of those chargers. So we'll have a bank of 50 chargers charging batteries continuous all day, and that's what leads to those fires predominantly. Luckily, there hasn't been a huge influx of fires of lithium-ion or the cause and origin in Orange County.
For me, I would just love to see a bigger, warning. Just, anybody who sells a product like that, you know what? You have to put a big red sign. Be careful. I mean, just something that, you guys might be able to do as the town board, and just because, every time you hear news, it's on a regular basis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second one?
Matthew Rapsarda, Highland Mills. So I was trying to figure out how to petition putting in speed bumps, specifically in an intersection in Brigadoon, Castleton and Brigadoon. That intersection has been terrible, and every single day people are flying through it. My wife almost got hit by a car when she was holding my newborn son about a couple of months ago. There's been numerous close calls that I've seen. I've called the police numerous times. We've submitted to the Woodbury Police Department online. Police officer by the name of Mike, I know his first name, was there, and within 45 minutes he handed out 4 tickets. And these people were not just slowing down, they were not stopping at all. It's a residential neighborhood. There's kids out. My kids, will during the summer, we'll be out playing. Want to try and avoid a situation before it happens. So if there is a possibility, and don't get me wrong, I hate speed bumps, but if that's what can help slow some of this traffic down, what can be done to do that?
It is, but it's village streets and you can't legally put speed bumps on municipal streets. But you should speak to Robert Wyatt, because he's the village street superintendent, and he's the one you would speak to about that, he can explain to you the laws regarding that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, because
If
we
you'd
have
like, I
one,
can give you his phone number.
yes, please.
Okay.
We have one on Cranberry going out to Ridge Road.
It's a hump. It's a hump, not a speed bump, and it's a hump that was required as part of, I believe, the planning board process because the Cranberry is supposed to be the emergency access road to enter the Brigadoon development. So it's, and that part is not maintained by the village, I don't believe. I believe it's maintained by your HOA. But again, Robert Wyatt is the exact person you should speak to about that, because he would have all of those answers. I'm gonna write his phone number down for you.
Excellent, thank you. That's all.
Server?
Someone's gonna speak, give me a second, please.
Good afternoon, sorry I was late, I was working. Maria Hunter, first of all, thank you to the board for waiving the fee for the Memorial Day Parade. As chairperson and the committee, we all thank you for that. I'm sorry I missed the beginning of the meeting, but we have a gentleman that's in this room who's very, what's the word, worked very well with the Jewish Family Services. And I think he did it as a village trustee, and he continued doing it for everybody. And I think that this board somehow, some way can acknowledge Neil Kraus for what he has done in the past few years, for what he has done for this service to the community. And I personally wanna thank you, Neil, because I know you've been there when I've had personal questions, so thank you for your service to that, to the community. In regards to the speed, I know the chief is here and I haven't had time to stop at the police station. Talking about near misses, 32 and Ridge Road. I almost was killed the other day. Gentleman came flying down, did not stop from Ridge Road. Thank God there wasn't anyone going northbound. I was in a northbound lane. Just missed me. And these are SUVs. You can't see the drivers. The windows are tinted. I can't do it anymore. The screeching that's going on 32, and with what's proposed to the ZBA meeting next week with a facility north of us that wants to operate from 4 in the morning to 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night with truck traffic. Regardless of this, the speed needs to be reduced. Something has to be done. I've been after this since Bob Till was in office. Speed limit from Ridge Road goes to 55 miles an hour. It has to get, something has to be done. And I think my husband did mention that the passing zone down by Savory, I haven't been down there. He thinks it was converted to double solid lines, but they didn't continue south into Woodbury, because in front of the police station, you can pass through there as well. So somehow, the New York State DOT forgot the rest of Woodbury. So I know it's being done, not as quick as we would like it, but the speed in this day and age, I'm gonna go to the village board as well, because my son said he did some kind of research, and I forget what he said. A municipality can request the speed limit to be dropped, even though this is a truck route on 32. Something needs to be done. I will find out what Justin. Because Justin, you know how Justin does it, goes and researches
No,
everything.
it's been done numerous times. It was done by this board before the village. It's been done by the village.
So, that, but the speed limit, and then Rose Lawn, it's crazy, Rose Lawn and 105, again, coming home from Monroe, I always slow down before that Rose Lawn. Because there was a fatality there a couple of years ago, and people don't stop from Rose Lawn. Again, a black SUV with the tinted windows on the driver's side was in 105 again. Thank goodness I had proper training on how to observe from being on ambulance and just driving the school bus, but a lot of people are not trained professionally to look around and to see the oncoming traffic. And Chief, I'll make an appointment to come sit down with you and go over the different places, but I've just been a little busy, personal and working, so thank you.
Department head comment? Joey?
I'm good unless you guys have any questions.
Randall?
You have a question?
What?
Oh,
Oh,
I wasn't sure what was going on here.
Do you have anything for department? Or Joey?
chairperson, meeting was canceled tonight. We're doing what we're doing, we're waiting for the weather to change. I'm working with Joey with Victory Park, what we need to do, and the shed and other things.
I actually have another question. Actually, she just brought up a very point that I was curious to ask. Matthew Howland Mills, question on the tinted windows. I mean, I've lived a lot of places in my life, and I've never seen so many tinted windows. We have Quincy down the street that is tinting windows. There's cars parked and driving in and out that have completely blacked out windows. Are we doing tint checks? Are we, like, I mean, that could be a tremendous amount of revenue for the town.
To my knowledge, that's, something that's part of your DMV inspection, so I would assume they would get them on that, but I'm sure we do get things right.
When we pull them over, if we observe a violation, they're either issued a warrant or they're issued a summons. You can't get your vehicle inspected now in New York State if you have more than a certain amount of tint. I can't tell you how many times we have people come into the station on a regular basis that have tint tickets that have either had it removed or wanna know how they can fix the ticket. They either have to have the tint removed or, their vehicle will not be inspected. But to answer your question, yes, we do issue summons for tint. However, just like speeding, as Desiree alluded to, I've been here for a long time. The proposed speed limit on 32, 30 miles an hour from one end to the other has been brought up probably for almost 20 years, if not more. Okay, the no passing zone that you guys spoke about, another constant issue. Stop signs, we're supposed to stop. If we don't, and the only other thing I can tell you is you made a phone call and we responded. We came up, and that's all I ask. If people have a problem, an issue with traffic, whether it be speeds or it's no stopping, you gotta call. If you don't call, you can't do anything. We have an officer that is tasked to do that through sergeant. We have a whole list every single month of different places that we target. Obviously, we can't sit at Castleton and Brigadoon 24 hours a day, but if you can give me a little bit of knowledge, hey, it's occurring at 7:30 in the morning, we'll be up there. You know, we're out there looking for the stuff, and believe me, it's constant. The biggest complaint that we have in our police department is traffic issues, whether it's speed signs or speeding, or perceived speeding. So, all you gotta do is call.
Understood, yeah. I've been doing it, and absolutely I can give some time recommendations. I see it.
That's all I can't solve a problem if I don't know when and where it's occurring, so that's
Yep.
all I ask. You called, and what happened? You
And
called
they
and
were
you got a response, so that's all you have to do.
That was great. I appreciate that.
Not a
Appreciate
problem.
your service.
Not a
Thank you.
problem. I can't stop what people will do and not do with tint. I just know what the law says. It seems to be like every single vehicle that we have is tinted.
Yeah, I
So
remember,
it's
the reason I brought it up, and, talk about this offline, but I bought a car years ago, this was back when I was in my teens. Took it out 1 week after purchasing it, didn't even realize it had tints, because it wasn't blacked out. And I got pulled over specifically because it had tints, was doing everything right, and got a tint ticket. And I had it removed the next day, because, again, I didn't realize it was just a little bit past the legal limit from what the machine said. So, I didn't know, like, I don't see any person in a car. It's completely blacked out. And it's like, every single car in big SUV, they've got them all. So, I just didn't know if it was something that's being enforced or not, is all.
it's a little bit more difficult for them to get it inspected now, but
That's good.
Thank you.
That's all, thank you. Councilmember Fleur.
Thank you everyone for coming. Just let you know, the Woodbury PBA annual egg hunt will be on Saturday, March 23rd, with a rain date for March 24th. Festivities kick off at 10 a.m., so bring your own baskets for a great time at the Res. And although it's far away, I'm gonna mention it at every meeting. I wanna raise awareness that the Orange County Special Olympics Polar Plunge will be Saturday, November 9th at the Res. They recently held one in Dutchess County where over $250,000 was raised. I would love for Orange County to beat that number. And I'm taking it as a personal challenge. We're gonna reach out to everybody that we can, different schools. We have the Cool School Challenge. This is all of Orange County, so we're gonna get everybody involved, and it's gonna be something. We've got 9 months as opposed to 9 weeks, so it's gonna be great. Thank you, that's it.
Councilmember Pignoni.
I too would like to thank everybody for coming out. I know the hour is different, but we're all here. So I have attended, the, Parks Committee meeting and the Library Board, meeting in the last 2 weeks. And Joey, I gotta say, that must have been record time for the charcuterie event to fill up, and it's, the committee's really putting together some great programs, for the community and things that I didn't even know happened, so it was enlightening. Also, the library board, the director actually, Sarah Johnson, she has been, increasing the number of programs and the age limits from infancy all the way through, teenagers and adults, and those two are picking up speed, so it was eye-opening, and our boards and committees are really, they're doing a job for the community, so that's all.
Councilmember Luan.
Okay, so this Saturday, March 9th, there's going to be an event through the Salvation Army Mobile Ministries / Pantry at the Woodbury Diner from 1 to 2. So if anyone's in need, there's a sign up. I have the link here if anyone is interested. I was asked by Martha Lopez to put it out there for the seniors, like flyer to the center, put it out there, and I think it's being shared also on social media. So if you know of anyone that could benefit, it's 1 hour this Saturday. Also, March is National Social Workers Month. The theme this year is empowering social workers, bridging the gap for a growing need. For those of you that don't know, I'm a licensed clinical social worker. That's my main gig. And I'm currently compiling a list of resources that I'll have ready by the next meeting. So if anyone has any questions, you can contact me in the meantime. Also, if you know a social worker, make sure you say thank you and show your appreciation, as it's a very demanding and stressful job, yet rewarding. And that's all I have.
I got to marry one.
Talk about stressful. Did you hear that?
I joined you.
The wall.
Chief, you have any?
I, other than I love the fact the meeting is at 4 p.m., I have nothing.
Attorney Joe Kay?
I don't have anything. I could give the board a status update on a few things, after the meeting, if they would just want to wait around a few minutes, just 5 or 10 minutes, that's all. I promise.
Okay, we'll hold you to it.
Yeah, I just want to announce that the Lions Club is holding and bringing back their annual community yard sale. It will be April 27th at the Central Valley Elementary School parking lot. And my deputy town clerk, Nicole Young, has asked that I remind everybody that as the weather gets nicer and you want to start having your garage and or yard and or property sales, whatever you want to call it, you do need a permit in order to do so in the town of Woodbury. It's only $5, and when you get your permit from us, we will announce your sale on our Woodbury Town Clerk Facebook page at no additional cost to you, so please remember to get your permit if you're going to be having a garage and or yard and or estate and or property and or whatever you wanna call it sale. Also, if you have a dog, it does need to be licensed, so please remember to do that as well.
I just wanna thank everybody for being flexible with us today. Obviously, have a lot going on, that's why we had to move it, but, thank you for that. Our next meeting will be on the 21st, which is after St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day. Be careful, don't get a DWI, because they'll be doing that, right? With that, can I have a motion and a second to close?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.